I must, for myself, examine the reasons I left the comfort of Kaldahar for a journey to Deepingdale, the place of Isilor's birth. It is much like the assignments given to me by Uncle Oswald and Isilor himself. When Isilor left those lands near the Inner Sea for the spine of the world, he told his fellow druids he would send a student to replace him. This, I told myself, was why I left. But now, as I sit by the warmth of a fire in Mirabar, I realize what Isilor must have already known. I remember the details vividly. It started many years ago. The year was 1310 Dale Reckoning, when scouts from Burn Shander, the largest of the 10 towns, first reported sighting goblin warbands. Within weeks, a river of goblins had flowed forth from the spine of the world, and above that wave of death sailed a banner bearing the monstrous heads of the Chimera. The militiamen of the 10 towns would have been the Dale's only defense had the forces of fate been against Burn Shander. But Albrecht Dinsmore, the mayor of the town of Targos, urged the council to send a messenger south to the port cities of Laskan and Neverwinter. Laskan had problems of her own, but fearful of repercussions, the captains of Laskan devised a simple plan. Throughout the city, they posted notices promising wealth and fame. With lean work in the northern port city, many mercenaries and thugs were lured to the ships that would take them even further north. And so their ships crept through the sea of moving ice and onto the Shanegarn River. They bragged of the deeds they would perform and the castles they would purchase. Lost in their reverie, they were blind to the throngs of goblins and orcs that lay in wait. Only a few ships survived the assault. Those that continued up the river watched as the town of Bremen burned. One of the 10 towns had already fallen. Many wondered, as I often wonder, what difference only a few can make against so many, and in the midst of such terrible circumstances.
That was the intro. Yes, I recorded this in the middle of the night. As you can see, the moon is up in the game. It actually follows the time on the computer, which is pretty cool if you think about it. Here I'm just adjusting some brightness and a few things in the graphics department and the options. So the first time I played Icewind 2 in 2 years, maybe 1 year. Keep that in mind. Yeah, I tried to click that on, but it wouldn't work. It said we had the EAX standard sound card. Guess I don't have it. Version 2.01. It's a nice house. That house. Nice green grass growing on the roof on the first floor. Yes, okay. So it seems I'm actually talking over a gameplay. I didn't actually talk while I was playing. Here are different parties, pre-made parties. Winter Rose, Sisters of the Blood, Annals of Halgren, The Hands of Fury, pre-made parties. You can choose if you don't want to bother making your own characters, which I will of course do. But I'm curious for the text they write about the parties, obviously. Makados, their overbearing leader. A group of unpleasant people, evil people. With an overbearing leader. That's what caught my attention. Because it sounded like he was nice. Or good. Not nice, but good. So here I go, creating. Gender, male is the first. Seems, yes. What picture should I take? What picture should I take? So there is many different, very vague. You see the faces are not so very pronounced. This one looks pretty cool. Ice cold. Can't even see that one. There's an orc. Small goblins. No, small dwarves. Small dwarves. Dwarves, I mean. This one looks a bit old, my age. So, here we go. It's been a while since I played it, so I started reading all of the different things or perks that each race and sub-race has. In this game, sub-race is nothing to do with the real world. Okay, it's a game, okay. At least for me it is. Here I'm reading through the priest. Different, you can see it's many different categories of priest. Cleric, Saloon, Helm, Okuma, Lathunder. I will keep on reading about each and every one of these. And later on I will actually pick one of these in a different character. You can choose 6 characters. I chose 6 characters, maximum 6 characters. I can choose 4, 3, whatever I want, but 6 is the maximum, and 6 is the most logical choice, because it's not an easy game. It's actually quite complex. Many different enemies and many different skills needed from many different characters. It's not good enough to be strong. It's not good enough to be smart. It's not good enough to be quick. It's not good enough to be very healthy. It's not good enough to be a wizard. It's not good enough to just be a thief. But it's not good enough to not have all of those combined. So maybe you have 5 and you lack a thief, so you're stuck in the middle of the game because, oops, the door couldn't be picked. That's what I like about this game. Paladin is what I'm thinking about now. But the normal paladin seems so boring, so I didn't want to. I wanted to pick something other than Helm. Helm is like the typical Christian almost. It's like the one eye sees everything. But it's not Christian, but it's closest maybe in this game to Christians. Because Helm is a very righteous and nice god, strikes upon evil. That's like the god of Helm. Mystra is more magic goddess. So I was intrigued. I was thinking, oh, wow, Paladin actually can be under Mystra? I didn't know that. Didn't think about that last time I played it. Forgive me for my talking, but it's the best I can do, okay? Yeah, you can see there I can multiclass to a wizard without losing the ability of a paladin. That's actually the main reason I chose Paladin of Mystra. Lawful good, of course, that's the only thing paladins can be. So I have 16 extra points. Wisdom affects the actually the armor class of an unarmored monk. But that's not why I want it. Wisdom also affects the potency of cleric spells and paladin spells. Constitution is very good for your health. It's how much you can take damage, which relates to me in real life, which is probably why I chose Paladin or Fighter, because I don't enjoy it. I search for pain sometimes, like if I jog, I'm not like enjoying a jog, I'm trying to feel pain to push my body. So Constitution seems very real for me. Intelligence not always so much, because it's not smart to pain yourself. I'd say in real life I probably have 1 or 2 points less intelligence than Constitution. Wisdom is increasing by age. Charisma. I'm introvert, but I can be charismatic if I'm open. So probably real life 13 charisma. I'm reading again. What is it? What am I reading? Yeah, I think it's the charisma. I was actually reading a lot on charisma. I didn't understand those numbers. 0, 0, 0. If it was each level or how many spells it was each level. I was thinking a lot about that. I will post a easier video next, going directly to the gameplay. So this is more like a intro video. The video will end as I start the game. So if you want to just watch the gameplay, you can pick the next video. I will post it after this video. Then you can skip all this if you want to. Here you go. 16 points is +3. Then you get 3 extra level 6 spells. This is it's like 3 extra level 6 spells plus 3, 16. So a little bit to think about, I didn't quite understand, but it says 6, right? 16, you see. So you see all the numbers. What is each number? What does it stand for? It's not 6, because what's the first one? That's number 1, right? So I'm still not sure what it means. But I will dive deeply into that and figure it out eventually. I understood it's like 80%, so eventually I accepted my knowledge. There I chose my points. Forgive me, I didn't elaborate on my choices, but I can do it later. Alchemy. You see the number 2, that's how the cost is for each point. So I have 10 points, and Bluff and Alchemy has 2 cost points. So I want to choose the number 1, the least costly, because that's what you are best at as a character. And the more intelligence you have, the more skill points you get, and the different skills, the cost is it's determined by what kind of character you are and what kind of points you have chosen before this. Wisdom or charisma and etc. Wilderness lore is okay for Paladin. Knowledge Arcana is not necessary, but You see, it cost 2 each. And I was foolish enough to... No, I took them back. See, those diplomacy and concentration, I can pick up to 4. I'm not sure if I'm aware of that right here. It's clearly better... Oh my god, did I really? It's better to pick 4 diplomacy than 2 something else that I'm not good at. Jesus. I can't believe I did that. I just did it. It's like 20 minutes ago. But you see how little... It's the first time I played it in 2 years. This is what I remembered. And now, 20 minutes later, I know more because I did it. That's how easy it is to make mistakes in the present. You'd realize it like 20 minutes later. Wow, then you're much smarter because I have no idea why, but obviously some people not very smart in the moment, like me. Here I have 2 points, but this is feats. Feats are something else than skills. It's more, it's a greater thing about yourself. It's like shield wielding, what kind of weapon you use, blind fight, bullheaded, prerequisite, human, and dwarf. It all goes on what kind of character you are also. Courteous magography, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get a microphone that can work while I play. Right now I just have a rock and roll mic I'm using, completely independent from the computer, almost. The colors and the voices speaks for itself.
Steel yourselves. Steel yourselves. Forward. Attack. Time to test my metal. Attack to arms. Stand and deliver. Follow my lead. Expect no quarter.
Looks like I'm gonna have to go on a killing spree. I'm a busy man. I got
Places to go, monsters to kill. Yeah, I played this before.
Show me a target, and I'll smash it. Step right up. I've got plenty of depth.
That's like the cocky comedian in Hollywood movies.
To the pain. Come then. Let us begin.
Yeah, the wizard sounds
Prepare yourself.
more level-headed, at least.
Your death is at hand.
Okay, not so much.
I shall be for now.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. Stupid. They don't have a paladin voice. No paladin voice. Why?
You are no match for me. Good, I couldn't say anything.
So the wizard was actually the closest voice, sounding like the picture.
Ready or not, here I come. Have a taste of
Not that one though.
Come get some. You're no match for me.
It is a shame that we must resort to violence.
That one sounds like him.
For doing this the nice way.
So much for doing this the nice way.
But I cannot show you any mercy.
No mercy.
I'll make this as painless as possible.
Painless.
This time, action must speak louder
Action
than
speaks
words.
louder than words.
The battle is joined. You cannot win. Let's see what you have.
Oh, I don't want that voice. Still, I listen to it.
I do my best.
I'll bathe in the blood of my enemy.
Yeah, the sorcerer is just crazy. I think is the point. The sorcerer is supposed to be wild.
Here I come to the butcher's work then. This one's mine.
It's mine, not yours.
God grant me strength.
HOW stands for Heart of Winter, which is the expansion pack to Icewind 1. This is 2, so they actually
It is a shame that we must resort so much for doing
used the HOW voices and transported it to
this as painless as possible. This time, actions must speak louder than words. Your trust is appreciated.
Your trust is appreciated.
Here is true.
Yeah, I chose that one. That's my real name. Alexander the Admirable. But it wasn't enough characters. The Stoic. That's more like it. That was one. Yeah, I'm going on for quite some time with this. That's a nice drow. Yeah, that's a nice girl. Orange hair. Yeah, and I probably don't even realize that girls actually play this game too. To me, this was just fiction. Imagine a girl looking like that actually playing this game. That's funny. Moon Elf, Drow. If you're familiar with Forgotten Realms, you know what the races are. I actually don't want to explain too much about each different race because it's too much difference, too much info on each race. But yeah, Wild Elf and Moon Elf, I'm actually not sure. I know the elf is an elf, like Lord of the Rings elf, but the Drow is like an elf that got thrown out of the elf society thousands of years ago and moved underground. And I think they had black skin from the beginning, but yeah, if they got it underground, I'm not sure, but yeah, that's the difference between them. Also, the Drow is more powerful in the dark and also more evil, but not so very strong like normal elves. Now I'm looking at what she should be. She should be a bow, like a short bow, a long bow, like a archer. That's what it's called. But I didn't find. Yeah, I chose fighter because ranger is not really an archer. It's more like a spellcaster 10% and archer 40% and fighter 40% and 10% thief. You know, I wanted a strong archer, so I chose fighter. You know it's true. Lawful, neutral. Here is like how many different types of good and neutral and evil you can be. You can be lawful evil, lawful neutral, lawful good in this game. It's almost like real life. You can have lawful evil people in real life, evil people that follows the law. They only are evil if the law permits it. That's not so few people in society, I think, does that. And lawful neutral, it's like, yeah, you follow the law, but you don't care if it's good or evil. You think that it should be a balance, I think, mostly. Neutral good, that's... Yeah, they think that neither order nor chaos should moderate need for good. That this person, neutral good, would be someone that can be killing his king to do good, or actually the opposite. Yeah, I chose lawful good because she's a woman, and I think women of today's society needs a little bit lawful good. Otherwise, I would probably choose true not neutral, because if I was blind to society today, I would choose true neutral. Like, I think women should be balanced and true neutral, but today, I think they probably got a little bit chaotic, evil. Okay, so I have a dexterity 12 up to 16 plus 3 bonus. Remember, this should be a female archer, so I'm thinking now she is an elf. I can't actually remember what kind of elf I chose. Not wild elf, I think, but it has 2 minus in intelligence, so yeah. Plus 4 for 18, 19. Weight limit. Just more strength you have, the more you can carry in your backpack, which is pretty logical. I probably don't even need to tell you that, unless you're a kid under the age of 10, maybe. But I prefer my audience to be any age, but late teens or my age is cool. No offense, I'm scared of your parents, okay? I don't want to offend them. It's so open, this YouTube stuff. So what am I thinking about now? I'm thinking about dexterity up to full 20. You can't actually go up to 20 in most cases, because only a few races has plus 2 skill point, ability points, which in that case you get plus 2 to begin with, and also you can go up to 20 instead of 18. So that's like extending your lifespan 2 years, you know, in this game. So dexterity is pretty good for archers to use your skills in bow shooting. And also reflexes, how much you dodge arrows that gets shot at you. And archer is also mostly a fighter, so you should have constitution and strength. The others are not so important, because it is a little important, but not so important for a fighter. Charisma and intelligence is important for some fighter skills. Intelligence determines how many fighter skill points you get. So if you have a stupid fighter, you can't be a good fighter either. So I actually don't think I would realize that when I did this. If you have a 20 strength fighter and 20 intelligence, you get so many skill points for fighter, like 36. But if you have 8 intelligence, you maybe just get 3 points. So if you have a fighter that needs a very particular skill to be very good, you can't choose it because you don't have enough skill points to get it, like here. But it seems it's actually a firm, pre-decided. But as you level up, I think more different skills present themselves. For example, I think I remember when I was level 16, some barbarian got some bloodlust stuff here, I think, and I couldn't choose it because I just got 1 skill point because he had intelligence 6, and it cost like 2. So it's a lot to think about in Icewind Dale 2 for my female archer character. Concentration is pretty good for anyone, really, but mostly for spellcasters. Ambidexterity, that's for I need 15 plus dexterity to use it. It's to make the character better to use both hands. Dash, you move a little faster with dash. Deflect arrows, you need at least 13 dexterity. You see, you can't do certain stuff if you don't have enough ability points. This was a great challenge for me as a kid, great game. But most kids, they just want, seems to me, shooting games or fast, boom, boom, boom. This takes a lot of time to teach yourself to play. So, and I'm pretty sure I was the only kid in my gang that played this game. I got one of my friends to play it, but he fell off after 2 years. So did I, but I came back to it, of course. Yeah, I'm thinking now. Deflect arrows or ambidextrity? Deflect arrows is pretty good for protecting yourself from arrows. So okay, so here we have colors on the clothes. She's pretty green in the picture, so I'm not sure I even thought about that when I was choosing color, skin color. Next.
Let's spill some blood. You want a taste of this? Are you ready for me?
Yeah.
Any last words? You're gonna bleed.
She's too calm.
Prepare to be destroyed!
She's not too calm.
To victory! A stout sword and sturdy shield will take you far. I'll do my best to keep myself out of trouble. My aim shall be true. Onward to glorious battle! Into the fray! Time to test my metal. Attack. Make peace with your gods. By confidence, twin axes. Let's take it to a fine some action.
Don't stand against me.
Sarklin, attack now!
Sarklin.
Onward to victory!
Most probably nickname for surface dwellers. Yeah, she's crazy.
Bring it on! Let's dance! Easy pickings. Follow me. I shall sleep you all. A little fire and lightning should light. I shall see you to your grave. I get all shield. Stand and deliver into the fray.
It's like a kid voice. Yeah, she sounds like youth. She's an adult lady, but she's too calm.
Prepare to be destroyed. Now on your knees.
Your time draws
Her.
Face me if you dare. May the gods have mercy.
That's the lady voice I chose for her.
I'll take care of this one. I will do my best.
She was sharp enough, not too sharp, and not too calm.
Time to turn this one down.
She's too old for this character.
You want a taste? Are you ready for any last words? You're gonna bleed.
Your time. Face me if you dare.
So what should we name her? I immediately just came up with the name Lawcaster or Steelbow. She's an archer. Steelbow sounds good. Pretty good for an archer. So that's the next one, which is